Hey guys, welcome back to Dragons Armwrestling. So a lot of you guys, I'm sure, have heard about the Knuckles Up pay issue. So that's what we're going to do today. Is we're going to do an update on it. I have been fully reimbursed. They have paid me what I'm owed, except for the pay-per-view, the pay-per-view total, because you're supposed to get 10% of all the pay-per-views you sold. Realistically, I probably only have like $5 of pay-per-views that is owed to me. But besides that, that is the only thing that is technically owed to me, and I don't even know how many I sold, so there's no telling whether or not I even have any money owed to me. I know a couple of guys have come to me and asked, did you get paid for the pay-per-views? I don't know, because they said they used my code, so I don't know. I have had a couple athletes come to me and ask if I have been paid. I told them yes, but there are athletes that have not been paid yet. I don't want to mention names because if they don't want to come forth, that's on them. But there is a potential that I will be doing some talks / podcasts with some of those athletes that want to talk about their experience at Knuckles Up and how they were treated and everything like that, and their story on the pay issue. But as far as me, I've been paid everything that I am definitely owed. So I guess my squire with them is pretty settled, but I would like to see the rest of the athletes paid, because I feel like the reason I was paid is because I spoke out about it first. So obviously, if I'm paid, then I'm going to do a review video saying that I was paid. But more than likely, if you haven't spoke out about it, you're probably going to be paid later on. So like one of the guys said to me, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And I genuinely feel like if all the athletes don't come out to speak up about this issue, then the issue is just going to continue on. I think the thing that makes me the most frustrated with the whole situation is that Knuckles Up still has not came out to the public and said, hey, this was the issue, this is what happened, this is why it's taking so long to pay the athletes, and it won't happen again. And I think if the clarity and the transparency of that were to happen, a lot less people would be pissed off about this. Like, a lot more people would be like, okay, we understand, but they've not done that. They have been, in my opinion, very shady on the whole situation. And I think that's the main reason everyone's so frustrated. Like, for me, if they would have came out day one, because they should have known day one, if they'd have came out day one and said, hey, due to the hackers for the pay-per-view, we will not be able to get you guys paid for the next couple months, but you will be paid. All right. And they just kept updating, like, hey, we'll be able to pay X amount today, we'll be able to pay X amount a month from now, yada, yada, yada. People would be more understanding. But instead, the whole issue with, hey, what's the deal with pay? What's the deal with pay? I mean, I know a ton of athletes that have been like, hey, when are we going to get paid? And then them just be ignored for like a week. And then them have to message again, hey, when are we going to get paid? And then just be ignored again. And then so on. And then when the athletes finally start coming out and being like, hey, when are we going to get paid? If we aren't paid soon, then we're going to come out about this publicly. Then they remove us all from the group chat. I thought that was very shady. But again, I really think Knuckles Up, those guys need to come out and say, hey, here's the deal. We will make sure that the athletes are paid. And we apologize, and it won't happen again. And then I really think that it would take some of the heat off of them. But this is, again, I have been paid what I should be paid now. But some of the athletes have not. So I'm going to try to get in touch with some of those guys and see if they want to come onto the channel and talk about their experience, how the communication was between them and the other athletes, or them and the promoters, on their pay and stuff like that. But my query has been settled with them. Unlike with Beast Mode Arm Wrestling, they still owe me $800, and they owe a couple of the athletes over $2,000. So I don't want to say go bash them, because that's just horrible. I don't want anybody to be bashed. But keep the heat on them, because they still owe probably $15,000, $20,000 to athletes in total prize money. I mean, I'm owed $800. I believe James Faust is owed around $2,000. Justin Bishop's owed a good amount of money. As far as I'm aware, nobody's been paid anything extra from what they made, well, they stole from Tournament Day. And that's just not okay. So those guys also need to be held accountable for not paying their athletes, because the issue with that one is there's probably about $15,000 of unaccounted for money that was absolutely paid, because almost every class was filled to the brim with athletes that had prepaid to even be in the event. And as far as I'm aware, only a couple athletes received refunds. Almost none of them. Most of the athletes said they paid, but they would rather see the money go towards the winner and the total pot to make the event bigger and better payouts than to get their refund. But I don't think there's more than 5 people that actually received a refund. Not only that, but there was around a couple $1,000s in sponsorships to that event as well. And when you've got, I believe it's 32 people per class, left and right-handed, so 64 people per class at 154, 176, 198, 220, 242, and 242 plus, let's say average of like, even if there was only 20 people per class times 2, so 40 people per class, that's still $4,000 per class, because 40 people, $100 entries, that's $4,000 times 6 weight classes. So $24,000 if only 20 people per weight class actually pre-registered. And I really genuinely believe there was more than that, and they had sponsors as well. So there is a lot of money there unaccounted for, and I don't know whose end that's on, but that's I'm definitely not okay with still missing out on $800 from them, and more so for the other athletes. So it would be really nice if those guys would actually pay up. But as far as the Knuckles Up issue, once this is all resolved, and same thing for the Beast Arm Wrestling issue, once it's all resolved and the athletes are paid, I have no issues with any of them. But the athletes have to be paid. Besides that, I believe that's all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.